What to do, YouTube? MGM for life here. Back again, bringing you some more information about the Mega Evolutions. Obviously, Smogon, or not Smogon, Cerebi updated their stats, and there were some stats that are on here that weren't on Smogon, so we'll get into that. And I think the first one was Mega Charizard Y. So, luckily for us, Cerebi puts them all together in a row, so we can see them all and how they compare. So, Mega Charizard Y, again, Smogon had question marks for Mega Charizard Y stats, but now Smogon has them. So Mega Charizard Y has 78 HP, 104 attack, 78 defense, 159 special attack, 115 special defense, and 100 speed. So the speed is the same. Now Mega Charizard Y has the same defense as Charizard, but more higher special defense, and Mega Charizard X is the exact opposite, higher defense and same special defense. 159 base special attack, a 50-point increase from 109, and I did some calculations, and I found out in order for the stats to be statistically significant for defensive stats, a 40-point increase is enough to oh my god, fucking pop-ups once again, is enough to what am I trying to say? It's enough to mitigate the fact that you don't have leftovers on items. So Pokemon like Venusaur, who has 40-point boost in its defense, that's enough. There's like a 0.03 or 0.05 difference between leftovers Venusaur and Mega Venusaur without leftovers. So a 40-point increase, for defensively speaking, is statistically significant. Offensively speaking, however, a 40-point increase is not statistically significant because the 40-point increase is not enough to buffer the fact that you don't have an item, namely Life Orb. Life Orb is the main item that offensive Pokemon will typically run, or Choice Bandit, or Choice Specs, whatever it may be. But typically Life Orb and a 40-point boost is not enough to. So for example, Blaziken, a Life Orb with Blaziken's high jump kick does 53% to a max defense Skarmory, and Mega Blaziken's high jump kick without any item does 50%. So that 40-point increase is not enough to make up for the fact that you don't have the Life Orb item. So regular Blaziken hits much harder than Mega Blaziken would. But in this case, for Charizard Y, it's a 50-point increase, and that is significant enough to make up for the fact that you don't have a Life Orb. And that's before counting into its ability into play. That's really good. The same with Charizard X. The same thing you'll find. It's a 46-point increase from Charizard's attack to Charizard X attack. So that is significant. So, but without counting its ability into the mix, it's already significant. Add in the ability, it's even more significant. Same for Charizard Y. This Pokemon is going to be definitely an overused Pokemon. I think that people are going to find a way to keep the rocks off the field, so this thing can just spam Fire Blasts with 159 base special attack, and it's better than Ninetales because it actually can do some damage. Ninetales' damage is just disappointing. Its damage output is very, very disappointing with that 81 base special attacks, somewhat low. So Charizard doesn't have that problem. It's just going to blast everything and roast everything. I mean, you just run Espeon and Donphan, and you'll be good. You don't have to worry about the Stealth Rocks, or Tentacruel or something like that. There are ways to get Stealth Rocks off the field. I mean, people run Volcarona and they don't have a problem. So I think Charizard Y is going to be in the Volcarona category. Transport weak to Stealth Rocks, but because of its stats and its ability, people are going to use it, and they're going to do their best to keep the rocks off the field so that their Charizard can be as effective as possible. The next Pokemon, I believe, is Mega Houndoom. No, Mega Ampharos, but we're going to go to Mega Houndoom since we're in the fire category. Might as well go to Mega Houndoom while we're here. So here's Houndoom. Unfortunately, they don't have the Mega Pokemon for whatever reason. I don't know. So you have to click on it first So now you can see the Mega stats here. So you can see the stats. Houndoom above, Mega Houndoom below. The same HP, same attack. 40 extra defense, 30 extra special attack, 10 extra special defense, and 20 extra speed. So obviously the speed stat, any increase in speed is going to be significant. The defense stat matters because typically you're not going to run leftovers on Houndoom, but you could, I guess. But still, 40 again, as I said, a 40-point boost in defense is large enough to make up for the fact that you don't have leftovers. So Mega Houndoom is going to take hits much better than Houndoom would, even if you ran leftovers on it. From a defensive standpoint, from a especially defensive standpoint, regular Houndoom takes hits better than Mega Houndoom once you factor in leftovers. So that's the thing to keep in track of. But you're not really going to be running leftovers. You're usually going to run Life Orb or Choice Specs on Houndoom anyway. Now, again, the 30-point boost in attack initially doesn't make up for the lack of Life Orb, but Mega Houndoom does have the ability to run, has the Solar Power ability, so that's basically a Choice Specs with the ability to switch up moves, so that its ability makes up for its lack of Life Orb as well. So run this on a Sun team. Now you've got, you know, Choice Specs, 140 base power, Fire type moves to throw out at anything other than Heatran is going to get roasted. Doesn't even matter if you resist it. You know, switching your Latios and just see how much damage it's going to do, because it's going to do a lot. So I think Mega Houndoom definitely has a chance to be overused because of its ability to run Solar Power. Also, its increased bulk as well as its increased attack and speed. 115 base speed is really nice speed to have, especially for the overused tier. And you know, Dark Fire is not a bad offensive type, especially since a Pokemon like Heatran can no longer come in and just completely wall your Houndoom because it no longer resists the Dark type stab. So, you know, Dark type moves are going to be doing a lot, and Solar Power increases your special attack in general. So it's not just your Fire type moves. So your Fire Blasts will be boosted by Solar Power and the Sun, whereas your Dark Pulses will just be boosted by Solar Power, but that's still basically a Choice Specs Dark Pulse coming from a 140 base special attack Pokemon. So I definitely see Houndoom getting some much needed usage in the overused tier, and Mega Houndoom looks really, really cool, like just like a straight up dog from hell. I mean, basically. Mega Houndoom definitely going to see some overuse play, I believe. Now we're going to move on to the next Pokemon, which is Mega Ampharos. Its stats were also question marks on this Smogon site, so Cerebi has done what Smogon could not do and figured out the stats for Mega Ampharos. So they've got the same HP. Mega Ampharos has 20 extra defense. It has 30 extra attack. It didn't really need much. Or sorry, 20 extra attack, 30 extra defense. Sorry. 50 extra special attack, 20 extra special defense, and 10 less speed, although that didn't really matter at that point because you're already slow as dirt. And if we're talking about overused here, 55 and 45, there's really no difference. So now for Mega Ampharos, obviously this 50-point boost in special attack is definitely significant, especially since, you know, you typically, I mean, in the lower tiers there was, you know, Life Orb Ampharos was running around. But now this Ampharos is going to hit much harder than Ampharos would, unless it's running Choice Specs, which is definitely, I think you know, that is a thing in lower tiers, Choice Specs Ampharos. At least I believe it is. Yeah, but this gives you the ability to hit moves with a little bit more powerful than a Life Orb Ampharos would hit. So, but the question is this Pokemon going to be overused? I mean, it is a dragon, and that kind of actually hurts it because it's so slow. So Pokemon like Salamence, Noivern, Dragonite, Latios, Latias. All those Pokemon outspeed it and threaten it, and it's I think that actually the fact that it became a dragon actually ultimately is going to hurt it in the long run as far as its overused potential. Now, underused here, it's got amazing bulk with 90 HP, 105 defense, 110 special defense, so it can take some hits and deal out some big damage with that 165 base special attack. So I definitely see this Pokemon as an underused Pokemon, and in the underused tier, the dragon typing will really help it out because there are not going to be that many dragons, if any, in the underused tier. So all you're doing basically is just getting taking advantages of the resistances that comes along with being a dragon. So I think I definitely see Mega Ampharos as an underused Pokemon. I don't think it has enough still to be an overused Pokemon. Now the next Pokemon we're going to be talking about is we did Mega Houndoom, Mega Tyranitar. So this Pokemon it's really interesting because on the one hand, it's got really, really good stats. On paper, they look like completely mind-blowing, but when you break it down, as my computer's taking a bit to load up the page, so you can see what I'm talking about. But when you break it down, you're going to find that Mega T-Tar just may not be as good as it initially looks. So while we're waiting for my oh, never mind. I lied. Well, I was going to go off on a strange tangent, but now I don't even have to. So, Mega T-Tar, as you can see, it has the same HP, obviously, as they all do. 30 extra points in attack, 40 extra points in defense, the same special attack, 20 extra points in special defense, and 10 extra speed. Now, what I was saying is, you know, look, the 40 points in the defense, obviously that's a big boost. As I said, it is significant, makes up for the lack of loss of leftovers, but the 120 in special defense does not. With leftovers, Tyranitar is going to take special hits much better than Mega Tyranitar would. And another thing is that for Tyranitar, strictly for Tyranitar, though, you don't get access to items like Chapel Berry, which is probably one of the better items to run on a Tyranitar, especially a defensive one, because it basically allows you to live any one fighting type move. And Mega Tyranitar doesn't have that ability to run Chapel Berry. So what I would, and also Choice Band, because the 30-point boost, again, not significant, so a Life Orb, a T-Tar, which you probably won't see, but a Choice Band of T-Tar hits harder than a Mega T-Tar will. That's another thing. I guess for Mega T-Tar, if you want to run leftovers on your Tyranitar, if you're going to run leftovers on your Tyranitar, then you might as well just run Mega T-Tar, because at that point, Mega T-Tar is just overall bulk in general, especially from the physical side, is going to ultimately be better. And it's not like, you know, it has 120 base special defense plus that multiply that by 1.5 because of the Sandstream boost. So it's still going to be taking hits really well, much better. Physical hits much better. So moves like Earthquake will probably really fail to fall short to KO now. And it'll take a lot of physical hits much better, so basically the only way you're going to take it down is with the fighting type move at this point, because of its increased defenses. But if you're going to run Choice Band, or if you want to run Chapel Berry, then running the regular T-Tar is going to be much better in that sense. Also, I think because of the increased speed, Mega T-Tar might be better at running the Dragon Dance set, because the Dragon Dance set was really popular back in 4th Gen Dragon Dance T-Tar. I think Mega T-Tar can really utilize the Dragon Dance set because of that increased speed, and it's already super high attack. You could just run max HP, max speed, take advantage of its bulk, and then just that basically guarantees you 2 Dragon Dances. Because once you get rid of their fighting type Pokemon, say their Terrakion or their Lucario, once you get rid of those Pokemon, you can just set up 2 free Dragon Dances, because there's nothing that's going to be able to OHKO you, that's for sure. And after 1 Dragon Dance, you outspeed a certain Pokemon, like certain walls like Gliscor. I don't even think Gliscor's Earthquake would 2-hit KO with that 150 base defense. So you can get up 2 Dragon Dances and then just start throwing out +2 Stone Edges with 164 base attack, and you're going to be doing a lot of damage to stuff. And I mean, like, this thing can even take a Scissors Bullet Punch relatively well because of the 150 base defense as well. So I really think that Mega Tyranitar can definitely utilize a Dragon Dance set, or maybe even like the Tyrana Boa set, the 4th Gen Tyrana Boa set, the sub 3 attack set. Whoa, sorry about that. My computer was idle for a while, so it's about to go to lock screen. But yeah, I think that Mega Tyranitar can definitely utilize sets like that. But I think ultimately, though, I think that Tyranitar in the long run, with the ability to run the Chapel Berry, is probably going to be much more beneficial if you want to use it as your weather starter. So I think I'm not really sure. I think it just comes down to preference when it comes to Mega T-Tar. What exactly do you want to do with your T-Tar? But we're going to move on to the next Pokemon, which is going to be Banette, Mega Banette. This Pokemon, again, another one of those Pokemon that had question marks, but now we know what its stats are, and it has the Prankster ability, which I briefly touched on last video, but it has a 50-point boost in attack. It has 10 extra defense, 10 extra special, 10 extra everything else, basically. Everything else is +10, and then +50 attack. Again, that's going to be a significant that is a significant boost in attack. So Mega Banette is going to hit harder than a Life Orb Banette would. I'm not really sure even Banette even ran Life Orb. I know they run like a choice set with Trick. So Choice Band, Trick away the Choice Band, and then go from there. But it also has access to Prankster, and that means you're going to have priority Destiny Bonds, as I touched on later. Last video, you have priority Destiny Bonds. So this Pokemon is just a get out of jail free card, basically, because whenever they're going to set up on you with like a Dragonite or a Salamence or something like that, you can just say, hey, look, I'm just going to Destiny Bond you, or any particular threat that's just a major nuisance to you, just Destiny Bond them and then have them kill you, and then that's that, and then they're out of here, and then you can go from there. Like, just get rid of a Pokemon that's preventing your Pokemon from sweeping their team, and just get rid of it with Destiny Bond, and then go from there. So I think Banette's definitely going to have some uses. Definitely very, very powerful Pokemon. Fortunately, it doesn't have the greatest offensive move pool, but Ghost is a really amazing offensive type this gen because it's only resisted by Dark, and obviously Normal is immune to it, but Steel lost its resistance to Ghost, so you can just click Shadow Claw, and it's going to do some damage to pretty much everything. It also gets, I think it gets Shadow Sneak. It also gets Sucker Punch as well. If it doesn't get Shadow Sneak, I know it gets Sucker Punch. So this Pokemon's going to be a decent Pokemon. A definitely overused material, I think. And the last Mega Pokemon we're going to be talking about is Mega Aggron. So let me just double check to make sure there aren't any others. We did the yep. All right, Mega Aggron is going to be the last Mega Pokemon that we did not know its stats, but now we do, thanks to Cerebi. And Mega Aggron has the Filter ability that has 30 extra attack, 50 extra defense, and then everything else. No, 20 extra special defense, and then its special attack and speed are the same. It loses the rock typing, which is, offensively speaking, that's not really good because one of the Aggron's main selling points was the fact that it could throw out some head smashes with the rock head ability and not take any recoil damage. But from a defensive standpoint, losing the rock type was really amazing for it because it has 230 base defense, tied for the highest defense in the game along with Shuckle. But unlike Shuckle, it actually has some decent HP with which to use that defense. So it's going to take hits like a beast. And it has the filter ability, so that reduces the effect of super effective moves by 25%. So add that on, and you're not going to take this Pokemon down with any physical moves anytime soon. That's what it comes down to. It has access to Stealth Rocks. It can check a Pokemon. I mean, it straight up counters Mega Mawile. I mean, even at +2, Brick Break's not going to do that much. Although I don't know what Aggron could do back to Mega Mawile, so I guess I'll say check. It doesn't counter. Retract my earlier statement, but it's gonna function, I think, as a very amazing physical wall, and I definitely think that this Pokemon can definitely be overused material. It can check a lot of the major threats in the overused tier, even if those threats pack super effective moves, like say a Dragon Dance Elements, usually runs Earthquake as a coverage move, or Dragon Dance Dragonite. It doesn't matter because with Filter plus 230 base defense, that Earthquake isn't going to do jack. So I definitely think Mega Aggron is definitely going to be overused, and if it's not, I would be really surprised, and I would be disappointed at the Pokemon community if they don't see the potential of this Pokemon to wall your physical attackers to hell. I definitely don't see it dropping anywhere below underused. It's just too much of a physical beast. I feel I don't see it going below being anything less than underused. I can honestly see why it may not be overused, because Aggron is just not one of those Pokemon that's as appealing as, say, like a Mega T-Tar or a Mega Garchomp. Aggron doesn't have the same type of, appeal. Like, people aren't drooling over Mega Aggron. At least I don't think so. I wouldn't imagine people, really gravitating towards a Pokemon like Aggron in general, so that may be why Mega Aggron may not see as much play as it deserves. But I definitely think that this Pokemon has the potential and is very viable in the overused tier. But that's going to do it for the rest of the Mega Pokemon, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, continue to enjoy all my content, and tell me what you think about these videos. And with that, I'm out of here. Deuces.